All right, we're back with American Miscellany. We're on essay number 84 about Mexico. So this book is a collection of essays. We've just finished essay number 83 on Tyre, and we're now on page 205 of American Miscellany. And we're about to learn a little something about Mexico. All right, Mexico extends from about latitude 16 to 42 degrees north from the Gulf of Mexico to the Pacific, and was in extent before the loss of Texas, about as large as the United States. It embraces all the climates of the world and rises in temperature from the tropical plains of Veracruz and Acapulco to the regions of perpetual snow. The Rocky Mountains, which separate us from Oregon, extend through all Mexico, and her whole surface is composed of tablelands and mountains, which rise in steps from the Gulf and the Rio Grande to the highest level, and then descend in regular gradations once more to the Pacific. She has no navigable streams, and the mountains and the arid plains compose, I should think, 7/8 of the whole territory. It is now 300 years since the Spanish conquest, and her population has long since reached that barrier where nature imposes eternal obstacles to further progress, where the whole products of the earth are economically consumed by the people. No doubt a better mode of agriculture would increase her population, but at present, to use the language of Malthus, she has reached the point of subsistence. It is true that the remote provinces of California and New Mexico, and those bordering upon the Rio Grande and subject to Indian invasions, contain some uncultivated lands, but the proposition, as above stated, applies to the mass of Mexico. For in the greater portion of the whole republic, women and children may be seen picking up grains of corn in the highways, and the rinds of fruit thrown in the streets are immediately seized and consumed. So soon as you cross the Rio Grande, you feel yourself in a foreign land. Mexico has no forests. It is true that along the streams and on mountain tops there are trees, but you are struck with this great characteristic, that the land is bare of trees. The numerous varieties of the cactus of all sizes, intermixed with palmetto, stunted or long grass, cover the whole land. You are among a people of a novel color and a strange language. The very birds and beasts and dogs seem different. The partridge, the lark, the crow, the blackbird differ in size and plumage and sing differently from ours. The buildings are of Moorish and Spanish style. The goat and the sheep feed together. The bricks are of clay and straw, sun-dried. The women go with earthen vessels to the well, just as Rachel was sent of old in the time of the patriarchs of Judea. The roofs of the houses are flat, and are places of recreation, and the people wear sandals as in the East in olden time. Wheat, Indian corn, and herds of cattle, sheep and goats, the banana and red pepper, and garlic and onions are the principal sources of subsistence. The products of the mines are the principal articles of foreign exchange, added to woods, besides tallow and cochineal. The extreme dryness of Mexico makes irrigation necessary in most of the country, and the scarcity of water and the habits of the people collect the inhabitants into cities or villages. The land itself is owned by a few large proprietors, not the least of whom are the priests. The great mass of the people are serfs, with but few more rights than the American slaves. It is true that the children of serfs are not of necessity also serfs, but debts bring slavery, and the wages allowed by law almost always perpetuated. Here, then, is the secret of the success of our arms. I conversed freely with the tenantry and soldiers in all Mexico, and where they are not filled with religious enthusiasm against us, they care not who rules them, American or Mexican masters. If all the Mexican soldiers were freeholders and freemen, If all the Mexican soldiers were freeholders and freemen, not one of all the American army could escape from her borders. The soldiers are caught up in the haciendas and the streets of the towns, by force confined in some prison or convent, there drilled, clothed, armed, and then sent on to the regular army. Such men avow their resolution to desert or run on the first occasion. Of near 1,000 soldiers sent from Toluca to the aid of Santa Anna at Mexico, not 100 stood the battle. The whole people do not exceed 8 millions. Of these, about 2 millions are white and mixed bloods. The remainder are native Indians. I never, in all Mexico, with the exception of foreigners in the capital, saw a single white man at work.